Poetry has long been a tool used for emotional expression and communication. Today we're highlighting the first person of color appointed to be the Poet Laureate of Alabama, a woman who is using reflection and powerful language to preserve her perspective on life in the South. Our Jasmine Mills has that story.
This is Ashley Jones.
Everywhere you look, roots run right back south.
She's the first person of color and the youngest person to be appointed Poet Laureate for the state of Alabama, but Jones never set out to be the first.
I learned about firsts in school. I never, considered that there would still be firsts. That's a whole other can of worms. But yeah, it just I felt a lot of feelings simultaneously when I found out. I was a little frustrated, to be the first. I was also really happy to break that barrier, and it gave me hope that everyone who wants to be Poet Laureate of Alabama feels like they can do it now that I've done it.
Jones served as Poet Laureate for the state of Alabama from 2021 to 2025. During her 4-year term, Jones functioned as an ambassador for literature, specifically by traveling across the southern U.S. doing readings and workshops. Jones completed a statewide fellowship project called the Alabama Poetry Delegation, which gave 5 other poets grant funding to complete projects in their region and creating space to do poetry. What is your definition of a poet?
I think a poet is someone who desires to see the world truthfully and wants to share that truth with others.
Through her nonprofit, the Magic City Poetry Festival, Jones aims to make poetry accessible through free events during the month of April, which is National Poetry Month.
Get people out and about in the city to learn about what Birmingham has to offer, but also to see the poets that we have to offer as well.
One of this year's featured poets is one of Jones's friends, colleagues, and the newly commissioned Poet Laureate for the state of Alabama, Dr. Jacqueline Trimble.
Poetry is not the first thing you think of when you think of Alabama, and I want to change that. I mean, a lot of people associate writers with Mississippi, but very few people associate, although we've got tons of brilliant writers out of this state. I just want Alabama, one of the things that Alabama will be famous for, I hope, is our poetry, because we need to be.
In a role that historically lacked Black voices, this young Poet Laureate aimed to reframe the grim history of African Americans in Alabama in a more poetic way.
I'm always going to write from my own perspective. That's the truest thing I can do. And if I weren't writing as me, I don't know what that would even look like. I don't know what kind of poetry that would be.
As she ends her time as Poet Laureate, Jones hopes the visibility the role provided will help encourage the Black community to dream big.
My time as Poet Laureate and the historic nature of my time just lets people know that things are still possible. Now sometimes we feel like things are becoming impossible, but the community really is progressive. And that's one thing about being in the South people never understand. We are the birthplace of civil rights here in the United States.
Reporting from Birmingham, Jasmine Mills, WRBL News 3.